What's up, future millionaires? I'm Mike the Investor, or as you would like to call me at times, MTI. Well, in this video, we're going to do a quick update on the Voyager VGX token on some key factors that I believe will help take this project to new all-time highs in 2022. Now, before we dive into that, we're also going to look at the alleged Voyager lawsuit just to kind of see what's been said and also kind of what are my thoughts about all of this as well. Now, before we dive into today's content, I want to take a brief second to talk to you about iTrust Capital. And if you're unfamiliar with iTrust Capital, they are the #1 go-to place to purchase cryptocurrency and precious metals completely tax-free. Now, there's no monthly recurring fee when you use the iTrust Capital platform like there used to be. And also, if this is your first time using iTrust Capital, you can also gain $100 free in Bitcoin when using the link down below. And as we briefly take a look at the cryptocurrencies that iTrust Capital offers for their customers, we can purchase pretty much the top players in the space today. And the last thing that I want to cover that's very important is who they use for their cold storage custody, Coinbase custody, and they use Curve, which are top players in the space today. Now, if you would like to use iTrust Capital and start saving on those capital gain taxes for the new year, go ahead and click the link down below. And if it's your first time, you'll also get $100 free in Bitcoin just for signing up. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the Voyager allegedly lawsuit right after this. Alright, crypto investors, welcome back to the channel. Now, at the time of this video, the VGX token is around $3.04. It's up about 2.94% on the 24-hour day. Now, as we go to the alleged lawsuit for Voyager, now before we go ahead and dive into all of this, I just want to briefly say I do think a lot of this is smoke in my opinion. I don't think a lot of this is going to actually stick. I'm also going to show a couple things as well on what I mean without digging too much into this. And so let's go ahead and dive on down. And you can see this came out Yahoo and on CoinDesk December 29th, 2021. So this is still very fresh, but this is all we're going to cover that I have highlighted right here. And so it goes on to say that the publicly traded cryptocurrency exchange Voyager Digital is facing a proposed class action lawsuit over alleged hidden fees being charged on its trades, according to a lawsuit filed in federal Miami court on December 24th. Now, this article by CoinDesk goes on to say that's presented by Yahoo Finance. It says the lawsuit filed on behalf of Florida resident, and this is his name here, alleges that while Voyager claims to be a commission-free platform for users, it employs various methods to charge secret commissions on all its trades, including by keeping the spread or the difference between the bid and ask price intentionally wide. And basically what he's talking about, if you use the Voyager app, you're going to see you have a bid price and you also have an ask price. Now, typically there is a little difference between the bid and ask, and that's because of Voyager is a brokerage and not an exchange. They go through different exchanges to figure out who can give us the best price when we're actually buying our cryptocurrencies on the Voyager platform. So it goes on to say that one of the lawsuit experts estimated damages to Voyager customers could exceed $1 billion. And I think this is just a big number to get people panicking as well. And I'm going to kind of show you something regarding that $1 billion also. Michael Legg, Voyager Chief Communication Officer, told CoinDesk that this action is absolutely spurious and without any merit whatsoever. We look forward to dealing with this matter through the appropriate legal channel. So he definitely responded to this the proper way. But based off of this $1 billion here, let's go ahead and talk about it. And before we get to that, real quick, for those that don't know what spurious means, just to put things into perspective, since we're talking about something like this, if we go to dictionary.com, spurious means not genuine, authentic, or true, not from claimed, pretended, or proper source. It is counterfeit. So basically, this is false news, okay? This is something they're trying to pull out of their hat and maybe get a cash grab on. Now, I want to show you this. This is 2021, and I'm showing you from the annual report, not quarterly. If we just go back to 2021, which was the biggest year for Voyager Digital by far, if you look at the sales/revenue, this is $224 million. So $224 million, and this was the biggest biggest year that they've had so far. So 224 million, right? And we go back to this article, right, allegedly trying to sue Voyager, that they took about 1 billion plus from their customers. And so this is why I want to say, take this with a grain of salt. Now, some people probably have panicked, but even with this news that have come out back in December 29th, which is almost a week old now, the price hasn't even suffered from this, because most people that dug into the details understand that this probably doesn't have a lot of foundation. Now, let's get into kind of my basic thoughts. I don't think this has any foundation. As you can kind of tell as I'm talking about this, I believe Voyager as a whole is still going to be fine. This does not change my perspective or how I see the company. Anyway, I'm aware of the bid and ask, which they do actually talk about in their terms and conditions. And so when we talk about this whole alleged suing thing, I think it's a lot of smoke. And let's say that this news happened to take the price down exceptionally low. I'm going to load the bag up on VGX, not saying that you should do the same. This is not financial advice. However, I'm going to load the bag up because I understand this is temporary and this is not going to rock the boat for Voyager. But now that we kind of talked about the alleged lawsuit that's going on, that's pretty negative, let's talk about some positive things before we get out of here. We're going to talk about some key factors that I believe will help take Voyager to new all-time highs in 2022. Let's talk about it. So one of the first and most anticipated things for the Voyager app and platform will be for it to be operating in another country, which they have mentioned in the past that March 2020 they expect to be operating in Europe, which brings us to the next point, which is operating in France, because they also recently got licensed in France to operate there as well. And so I think these are two major catalysts that is going to help, expand the adoption and utility, which will also result in a higher price, hopefully, in the future. Now, the next thing on the list, of course, is going to be the Voyager debit card, which I made a separate video talking about that as well, and an updated video for the VLP program, which is actually the next thing on the list for Voyager loyalty program new developments. Now, they've already put out a couple just for January. You can check out this video here, but they have more that will be coming up, as the team has mentioned, and Ehrlich, CEO himself. The next thing is going to be the crypto payment integration, which they're working on, which is why they did the deal with 𝗠𝗏. And so this is going to be big as well when it happens, which is only going to add more value to the overall platform as a whole, which would then incentivize people to want to buy VGX even more if they're using the Voyager platform for other reasons. Now we get to the NFT marketplace launch that is kind of like the museum type thing that's going to be in like 1,000 pieces of particle, which is connected with Avalanche. And so once this launch, which will be in 2022 as well, I believe this is only enhancing Voyager as a whole, which gives it more incentive once again for users like me and you to use the platform. And the VLP members like myself will get first dibs when it comes to those NFT pieces of art. So I think this is a big incentive as well if you are a Voyager loyalty program. Next, we have the crypto tax integration, which they have with Coin Ledger. I think this is pretty big as well. This gives us another way to have a one-stop shop when using a crypto platform to buy and sell, and also just earn passive income just for doing nothing. And then the last thing on the list will be the acquired partnerships for the Voyager token. They made a lot of big partnerships last year, definitely when it comes to professional sports. And just to name a few, they had the Landon Castle NASCAR deal, the Gronk NFL deal, the 5-year NBA Dallas Mavericks deal. They also just did the recent brokerage for the National Women's Soccer League, which is huge. 𝗠𝗏, Almeida. There's a lot of big things that they did in 2021, which I think will result in new all-time highs at some point in 2022. Now remember, this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only, not for financial advice. But if you gain some value from this video, most importantly, do me a favor and smash that like button. Also hit the subscribe button as well, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any more videos. But that is all I got for you. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.